I think Parenting Now does an incredible job of normalizing the very difficult job of parenting.
When we moved, our daughter was a month old.
Yeah.
And so we used it as Parenting Now as kind of a go-to to get connected with other parents and figure out this whole parenting universe.
Well, we were told very early on that we were going to do Parenting Now because I was a birth to 3 baby. And the first day we came into the infants class and everybody tells their birth story, and it was instantly everybody has something wonderful and something horrible that has happened, and we're all in the same boat, and it was just really, it was a big relief.
Parenting is kind of like walking a tightrope. If you've got the skills, it's not that difficult, but nobody starts out with the skills, so there's always a net underneath. Well, when I first started working here, I thought we were the net. We aren't. It's the other families.
I think that was a good thing in our group is we just would share an experience, whether or not we knew what the answer was or whatever it was. It was we just put it out on the table and there was no judgment. Mm-hmm. We just hey, this is what's happening in my house. How about yours?
It's always the hope that things are going to get better. The hope that you're going to be able to have you again in this process. And it just reminds you that there's all these different stages, and each stage has its moments where it's amazing. And then you know that the next stage is going to happen, and you know that there'll be good parts there too.
One of the things we talked about earlier was aligning our ideals, because I don't know very many couples who talk about their parenting plan, so to speak, before they actually have kids. How are we going to raise our kids? How are we going to discipline them? How are we going to make sure that they have all the skills they need to become a successful adult?
We were constantly covering the topic of how to manage our stress, and I was thinking, when is she going to help me figure out what to do about tantrums in a grocery store, stuff like that. And then this light bulb went off stress management, that really is the key to managing all of those constant difficult behaviors that you experience with kids.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. All of you, made it possible for me to be where I am now, which is relatively happy most days. Most days living the dream of single parent, working mom, career woman, all those things. I don't know that I would be there, or if I was doing all those things, I wouldn't be at the level of happiness now.
Coming in for a weekly meeting or whatever you want to call it, was a highlight of the week for us.
You give us hope.
You give us hope.
You give us hope.
You give me hope.
You give us hope.
Much better.